I love McDonald's food changeables, those lovable little food robots released by McDonald's that transformed into menu items. I thought I had seen them all, but when a friend texted me a random pic, I fell down a rabbit hole and came out with something I had never seen before. What is it? Let's open it up together. Before we get started, thank you so much for watching Fast Food Toy Files. If you like what you see, please feel free to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us grow. Okay, let's talk McDonald's food changeables. Let's start with series number 1, 1987. McDonald's had been actively trying to figure out how to get Transformers into Happy Meals ever since 1985. That year, they released the Transformers Happy Meal in the Missouri and Illinois markets. The toys were, in a word, terrible. They didn't transform, and they didn't really look like their character counterparts either. However, also in 1985, McDonald's released the Commandrons as 99-cent add-ons to meals. Those did transform, imported from Japan's Tomy line. McDonald's repackaged them, put them with a comic book, and sold them under the new name Commandrons. But they weren't exactly a McDonald's property, and they weren't Happy Meal toys either. Enter the Changeables, 1987. There were 7 toys total, including the Under 3 toy, which was a Pal's Changeable Cube. For older kids, there was a Big Mac, large fries, McNuggets box, milkshake, Egg McMuffin, and a quarter pounder. While I don't know any specific sales numbers, Dinosaur Dracula considered these to be one of the best Happy Meal toys of all time back in 2015, and I agree. While my preferred line didn't emerge until 1990, these laid the groundwork for that, and you gotta respect the originals. Perhaps the best testament to their success was the second line that came out in 1989. This included a total of 9 toys, with the Big Mac and large fries being recolors from Series 1, and the small soft drink, small fries, hot cake, quarter pounder box, cheeseburger, and ice cream being unique. There was also a Pal's Changeable Cube for the Under 3 set in this one too. While this does fill out the line started in 1987, it was also clear that by 1989 we were culturally moving away from the robot Transformer trend. Transformers was winding down its Generation 1 selection of toys, and other toys were starting to take top billing. One that springs to mind is Dino Riders, which premiered at the end of 1988, a show that combined robots and dinosaurs. The toys may not have been entirely the hit that Transformers were, but they did make a splash and have many collectors today. This is all to say that by 1990, dinosaurs were on toy store pegs. So it was only natural that McDonald's would explore the genre in that year's Changeables line, which kept the menu items but made them all transform into dinosaurs. This is my favorite line, if only because it's the one I can actually remember. The other 2 came out before I was fully aware of my surroundings. I was just an infant. Series 3 contained a Happy Meal box, an ice cream cone, hotcakes, which turned into a pterodactyl, my favorite, a fry box, a Big Mac box, a shake, a McNuggets box, a quarter pounder with cheese, and a non-transforming cheeseburger, which was a brontosaurus, and a small fry, which was a triceratops for the Under 3 kids. That makes a total of 10 toys. The fact that these toys increased in number each year points to how much consumers wanted them. As more toys meant they stayed in Happy Meals longer, a move McDonald's likely wouldn't make for toys they felt wouldn't garner that much excitement. There's also no question that these toys imprinted on the nostalgias of many. In 2019, McDonald's did their commemorative 40th anniversary lineup for one weekend only. In that selection of new updates on bygone toys, they included a hamburger modeled on the quarter pounder from Series 1 and a Happy Meal dinosaur box from 1990. While these remade toys looked fairly similar to their earlier counterparts, key differences in plastic texture and quality were noted. Still, their inclusion in this promotion speaks to the fact that McDonald's views this line as especially popular with collectors, many of whom received these toys when they debuted. Within the series, some toys are rarer than others. For example, the Under 3 toys tend to go for a bit more because fewer people were getting them back in the day. I've also seen a blue Filet-O-Fish box pop up in place of the Chicken McNugget box as part of the McDino Changeables in 1990. Not entirely sure what that was about, but I've heard it's some sort of regional variant. If you know more, please feel free to let me know in the comments. According to the Lazanskis, 2 people who have written many books on Happy Meal collecting, there were potentially some, but not many color variants globally, as toys were farmed out to countries, including the US, based on warehouse availability and the presence of the menu item in the destination country. Up until last week, these were the Changeables I knew. But then my friend Jorgen Lid Whitting, a Norwegian toy collector and toy maker, messaged me about a line of Changeables that emerged in 1992. They were pens. The tops of them, either a Big Mac, a sundae, fries, or a shake, popped open into little robots about the size of a Transformers headmaster for those familiar with that line. Interestingly, as Jorgen pointed out, they look essentially like knockoffs of Takara's Penbot robots line, which were only available in Japan. If you recall from earlier, McDonald's did import Japanese toys for their Commandrons line, but these would have required McDonald's to not only import the Penbots, but change them so that they featured McDonald's menu items as well. These are also very clearly branded Changeables, which puts them in the same universe as the toys I previously mentioned. This is definitely a premium that raises more questions than it answers, namely, where did it come from? After Jorgen texted me, I took to eBay to see if any were for sale. This was the only one that was. I clicked buy it now as soon as I could for way too much money, and here it is. When it arrived, I noticed that this example came with the insert that you saw just a moment ago. There is currently a set of them up on eBay that do not contain the insert and are from Australia. So were they from there? I don't know. Certainly the language on the packaging is English, so that suggests that they at least came from an English-speaking part of the world, perhaps even the US. Could they have been regional US offerings? Yes, possibly. The eBay listing that I bought this off of suggested that it came from a McDonald's executive. Now that's fairly vague, but if true, that could have been someone in the region here in the US that saved this from his personal collection. Could it be that after the regional test they didn't perform well, so they were farmed out to another country? Possibly. And were these even Happy Meal toys? Were they add-ons? I just don't know. But I do think what we have here warrants closer inspection, so let's take a look at the toy itself. So there is the pen in its closed position. You can see that it is a Big Mac. There's a button there on the side, and when I click it, that Big Mac is going to spring open. I just hit the button and there you go. It clearly springs open to become a robot. To open the pen, you fold the robot down, push down the top, and as you'll see, the bottom there comes out. I did test this to see if it writes. It does not. It is, of course, over 30 years old, so that would be surprising. But the only identifying markers on the pen itself is the Made in China stamp there on the side. Other than that, there's really not much. The robot on top does not seem detachable, but it does have some articulation in the arms. The insert there is a simple one-pager that simply identifies the other robot pens you can get, and that's it. That's the promotion. I'll certainly be hunting for answers. If you have any, let me know. But until then, this is one mysterious Happy Meal toy. On all the list of changeables that I've seen, these Penbot clones are left out. But given they clearly are branded changeables, let's make sure history never forgets the name Changeable Pens. Once again, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you heard and saw, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That helps us grow. Around here, there's a new toy every week, so please come back for the next fast food toy file. And until then, open your toys.